Hello everybody and welcome to the Flickering Torch and our weekly game of Blades in the Dark, subtitled Red Herrings. Now, I have been told off for my treatment of the cast members at the start of last week's stream, so I am not introducing anyone anymore. Jordan is going to introduce everyone. So I will send it over to Jordan to now introduce everyone in a calm, professional manner.
Thank you very much, Ben. So, guys, I'm Jordan, also known as Uninformed RPG, the GM for this ragtag band of scoundrels. We'll start with Addison this week. Please tell us who you are and about your character.
So I'm Addison from the Pod of Many Things. You may have just recently seen our episode with the people from Mecha Hack. Hope you have. It's a banger. And I play our resident cutter and muscle, Orlan Welker, former Scotland soldier of the 42nd Vanguard. It's nice to meet you.
Lovely.
I currently have no hands.
Currently has no hands, or at least half usable hands. James, we'll go to you next. Please let us know who you are and who your character is.
I'm James, and I play Giscard Reventloff, our resident academic. Small run-in with the automatic peanut shelling machine that made a building disappear down at the university. We don't talk about that.
Yes,
May
we
also
do.
be why I left the university.
Very good. Sean,
Here's our resident leech.
tell us who your character is.
Yeah, I'm playing Silas Baron Greenback, aka the Whisper. Oh, there was a sudden movement there. That temporal fix, that could have been the sound of those whispers. They have a way of doing that to you. Yes, that's me, Baron Silas Greenback. Got a great boss
Lovely.
here, never let us down, never any kind of entanglements. That's what I like about our boss. Never brings his troubles onto the boat.
Very good. And speaking of your boss, Ben, stick your hat on and tell us who you are.
Aldric Booker. I'm the leader of this band of scoundrels. I'm a big flirt and a terrible dice roller, so we have got a treat today as it all comes to bite me in the ass.
It's the best kind of player, I find sometimes. And also, finally, this week, we have a guest spot. So, Naomi, please tell us a little bit about your character.
Hi, I'm Naomi. I'm very excited to be a guest here. I'm playing Karis Dimmer, who was mentioned in the first episode and has come back to make an appearance.
Yes, indeed she has. So we will pick up there as we left off last week with Karis standing inside this canal barge that is the lair of our gang. And she's just handed Aldric some letters, which are letters of a romantic nature signed with his name. Go ahead.
Now, in my defence, these could be from anyone just using my name. Well, I do realise that I wrote, no, really, this is Aldric Booker, but discard that bit.
I just really need your help, and I didn't know where else to turn to.
You're not mad that we
I
put her out.
Sorry,
You just-
who pulled my house down?
No, not us. No. Not. We
I'm
know
just
the
going to
guys.
sit there behind
grab a
Aldrich
bucket.
and just go.
Grab a bucket, we could use some more water being bailed out. Maybe those letters will help. We can fill them with water, boss. Those letters.
I'll hand you a bucket.
Please come into my office, sit in the chair. It might be a bit cold. The last person to sit in it was a ghost.
Okay.
Do you think it's a haunted chair now? It'll be fine.
I'm fairly sure the ghost left.
Yeah, he's
nothing
no
to
longer.
worry
I'll kind of look at the chair very dubiously and sit down right on the edge of it. I just really need some help. Clearly you've heard about it. Someone completely destroyed my house, and I need looking for
That
some
is terrible.
help to raise.
That is shocking. I'll just get some boots out.
It's yeah, it was a shock. I mean, I don't often leave the house, and the one time that I do go out, it's not there to come back to.
Yeah,
I think that
I-
Aldrich is definitely the right man for the job. He really knows exactly who might have done this.
Subsidence is a terrible thing.
Aldric goes over to his bootleg liquor cabinet, pops a bottle open, pours one glass, hands it to hand it to Karis, right? Yeah. Takes a big
thank
old
you.
glug from the bottle and then goes, "You know what they say, no use crying over spilled houses. I think you should let it go.
As you walk past with the bottle still in your hand, you hear a small gasp from the porthole window.
Yeah.
I like grab whoever it is by the hair, like even though I've got like
Not this again.
It's Cobb.
I'm like,
Some more child abuse.
Oh,
you
great.
see,
Give him
you
a
see that Orland's.
I'm just looking for some of the good stuff, you know.
Yeah, grab a bucket, Cobb, and help bail out the boat.
All right. He grabs a bucket as he glances at Karis briefly, like he sort of stares at you for a second. His eyes sort of can't focus on. His eyes are wandering. We'll say that. And then he sort of comes to his. Sort of looks very sheepishly down at himself, and then goes off and bails some water out.
Yeah, as he's bailing water, I point to him and I go, so as you can see, we're not really a builder's merchant, so we can't do much about your house falling down. But if you
We've
want
got enough
some money,
problems of our own, to be honest.
we can help with that.
Yeah, I know people that can help build it. It's the financing that's the problem. Whoever
Oh, yeah.
did
Expensive
that
stuff.
also took all of our treasures.
Yeah. Yeah.
I slap Aldrich on the shoulder. Well, mate, this looks like this is your moment of pride here.
You never leave a damsel in distress here, can you, boss?
Aldric's still
I'm
looking
like
at
in a
them.
hammock with my hands like this, like my hands just up in the air because I can't bail because my.
You could say, boss, a brick in the hand is worth two in the bush, if you think about it.
You know what?
No, but you should definitely help. I mean, no, Orland, let's not go through the front door. That's what you said, yes?
Look, okay, we can help. We can. Have you got a score that you want taken? We can all go take it. I'm fine with that. But what you should do, and this is imperative. I think you should live and let live.
So okay, so you have no idea who. I mean, we need a house first and foremost. Me and my sisters, we need somewhere to live, and we're going to sort that out before we can, find out who did this to us. This is
Will that not just
live and
be?
let live. But then,
Would that not just be reliving past traumas? I think whoever pulled your ass down right now would be very sorry.
I think I'd agree, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you, Aldrich?
Yeah, it would take someone who's some kind of university professor and would know the exact
some kind of
dimensions of the
sicko.
house.
Yeah.
or it would take a ferry boatman a couple of bob to bribe someone with a few big horses,
Oh,
possibly from the dockers
Or
yard.
perhaps it was someone so traumatized, so in love that they just couldn't let it go.
You know what, boys? You know what? We'll help. Caris, Mrs. Dimmer, we'll help. We'll help. But I think what you should do is you should remember how much we help you now, just in case in the future any information comes to light about things we may or may not have done. But I'm going to say may not have because we only just got back to the city.
I'm so glad that I could count on you. I mean, I was a bit worried after all these wonderful letters that you sent me, and then you weren't there at the pub last week.
Yeah.
There's
a
I was
tragic
really
story
concerned.
around that, isn't there, boss? There's a real reason why you couldn't go, isn't there?
I'm sure there was. I mean, I can't see that the
He
man that
talked
wrote all
about you.
these letters.
He must have talked about you for hours, didn't you, boss? Hours. You were talking about how wonderful it was going to be.
Heartbroken, yeah.
Oh, very hard.
Silas, mate, can you do me a favour? Can you
Yeah, we
fuck off in the back
couldn't-
and play with your fucking weed cord?
Yeah,
Just
he
grab-
wouldn't stop talking about Karen Simmers.
Absolutely. It's apparently a famous singer or something along those lines. Anyway, I'll grab a bucket. Yeah, I'll put that in the head, I think. Just start walking around.
I couldn't imagine that you would intentionally turn me up.
I couldn't imagine that either. I couldn't imagine anything that's happened in the last few months, if I'm honest with you.
Karis, that's definitely a lie.
Yeah.
Boss, if you are in Skovlander, the tradition where if you take on one sister, you must bring on others and look after them whilst You repay debts.
Yeah, that's a very
There's
good
no
point.
debt here, remember, because we had nothing to do with that, did we? You.
No,
That's a
Fuck.
great
but
point.
you
That's
have
a very
said
good point.
that you would help them. So that means that they are our, how you say in Akron shit tongue, wards and our charges. You da?
How are your sisters with buckets?
Probably look a lot better with them over their head. I don't know if that helps.
That's
Why?
brave there, Silas.
I walk over to the staircase and just open it so you can see the boat is slowly flooding.
And this is normal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
this-
only at high
this-
tide, in fairness.
This is lucky. It's not too bad. At this time of the year, we tend to feel that we don't sink as much. It's when we get into the spring and summer we have real problems here.
And under maritime law, at least it's only the bottom third of the boat that's underwater, so it's technically still floating.
Awesome.
Yeah.
4-piece alert clock for the high tide coming in, by the way.
It's technically a houseboat, in terms it floats sometimes.
That's one tick.
So, Karis, what score did you have in mind?
A friend of mine has heard about an exhibition at a casino around the corner that would really help, but I can't do it on my own.
Well, that's good because we're all gentlemen looking for work. We can help you out. What do you need? What's the score like? Are we taking bullion, casino chips, booze?
I don't know, Jordan. What is it?
No, it was, this was an exhibition. You've seen flyers around the city now that you remember. It's for a new exhibition of a new diamond that's being unveiled. It's been recently moved to the city from Aruvia, which is a southern, very rich kingdom. Like Aruvians are considered quite upper class in Duskfall, and they're moving essentially something that they bring from their culture towards. They want to try and inject some money into the university, basically. Rub shoulders with the elites, you know.
Excellent. And is this said diamond that was mentioned, or is this a different diamond
This
that
was
was
said
found by the ghost?
We know it's been advertised as the Aurora Diamonds exhibit.
So we didn't really need the friggin' ghost to find this thing, did we?
I think we're after a
It was on a
different
flippin'-
diamond. I think there might be more than one diamond in Duskfall. Because I gave that diamond a name, but I instantly forgot about it. So we're going to have to
We'll
rewatch
say,
episode
Karis,
3.
you've got a flyer on you then. Instead of you've seen them around, Karis has got a flyer on her that she can produce, and there you go. Ben's got another piece of paper.
I do have a diamond. Boys, what do you think? Diamondized? 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 Diamondized?
As long as you're selling somebody else's culture and not mine this time, I'm
This
fine.
is to bail out your love here.
The eternal flame of your life, it would appear.
Yeah.
No, we're
yeah.
taking a cut of this, and she's going to take her own cut and go buy a much nicer house. A much with what you should really
one
look
that
into
doesn't have
foundations.
horses attached to the back of it.
Well, you mean a much nicer house closer to where our boat is sinking.
No, you stay in the night market. It's a really nice place. They've got lovely things over there.
Maybe
We'll get
she
you
start
diamond.
tavern. Maybe she start tavern. Hot date spot for people. Make money.
To be honest, at the moment, I just need a roof over my head for me and my sisters.
Well, they're welcome to stay on the boat, but they will need to bail it out every
Our
hour.
When you say
Two more ticks on
sisters,
the
how
alert
many
clock,
people
guys.
are you
One more
talking?
before the boat flooded.
Sorry, say again, Jordan.
2 more ticks on that progress clock, by the way.
Speaking
what?
of which, we
Now
should
sort of-
continue this conversation downstairs.
Yeah, we need to get bailing now. Everybody needs
You want
to
to go
grab a
downstairs
bucket.
on the sinking boat.
Yeah,
Oh,
start
I,
bailing the water out.
I'll turn on my half-assed little mechanical thing that means I don't have to throw buckets over
Right,
the side.
so
Yeah, the 2 buckets in the corner start.
is
shifting
that
you
our?
around.
Is that,
Notice, but I'm not able to bail. Like,
Sorry,
Right.
Ben.
is
All
that
right.
us? Is that our heist? Can we start our setup now?
So yeah, that is a location for the score potential. You've got the state. The time would be. We'll say that the exhibition. It's not active for another week or so. The public exhibition, however, at the moment they will be setting up. They will be There will be things being proved and displayed, and there will also be a private viewing. The flyer says, not this evening, but the following evening, which will be an invitation-only event for some of the more elite clientele to go and have a look and show off and see this thing for the first time for themselves.
Does it say on the flyer when this private event? I know it takes place the next day, but does it give it a specific time?
Yep. So the showing will be sort of early evening, say around 7 o'clock.
Okay.
That'll be when the private session begins.
Right.
But obviously between then, like it's the exhibition is taking place within the casino at Charter Hall University. So if you imagine, it'll be like the casino will be open, and there will be like a separate room inside it that is currently closed off, but will be open to the public once this exhibition is up and running.
I mean, you can open anything with enough explosives.
You could tear a whole back wall off a place if you
Yeah.
really want to.
Yeah, you could destroy a house.
No, you only need 2 horses and a bridle set and a big hook, don't you, Aldric?
It was a cheap house, in my defence. So, we've not played with a slide before. So, what is a
Yeah, what's
slide
the
good
mechanical
for?
difference? Yeah, what's the mechanic?
So a slide is a kind of social character. The tagline on it says a subtle manipulator and spy. So I've got some points in sway, consort, command, finesse, prowl, survey, and hunt.
She's got
All
so
good
many
things.
dots.
I was going to say that's more points than me.
We might have a social encounter that doesn't end with me jamming a gun in someone's face and firing it.
I say I have some points. I have 1 point in each of those. So-
That's good.
So
We
as
might
we
not
all
end up with a social encounter where I don't jam a gun in someone's face and fire it.
We need to just decide the method. Are we looking at trying to go via getting some special tickets to this private preview and then hitting a place then?
So there's if we look at the planning tools, there's assault, which is an attack, deception, and social, which sounds good. Or we could boost it in transit because there's a transport option. So if we know where the diamond's coming from, if it's not already there, we could boost it in
The
transport.
social
I
aspect.
quite like the
here.
social Ocean's 11 style heist, you know?
Yeah,
Fair enough.
social aspect for this one, I think, would be fun.
nice. Just before, obviously, if that is your plan, I'll allow you, if anybody does want to do any information gathering beforehand,
I
will
would
let you
love to
describe to me
schmooze.
how
Oh,
you
yeah.
gather information about this.
Centrilla Club. I'm going to some of my pals that I'm trying to indoctrinate into my cult. And I'm going to schmooze
nice.
and I'm going to booze. And I'm
Lovely.
going to
Is
try
there
and
anyone in
find out.
particular that you'd wish to target? Like,
Museum
any-
curator.
yeah. So
I'm
you
trying to
find out there is somebody who has been like from your contacts in your inebriati, which is a brilliant name for a cohort.
That we
but-
stole from Michelin Web, but you know,
I don't know
whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's still a brilliant name for it, and as far as I'm concerned, that's your original content. That's
You try telling that to the copyright lawyers.
that's the flickering torch, guys. And original content taking that as copyright, by the way. So yeah, you go there to the this club that you frequent and all of your pals frequent. They found that there has been somebody in there recently, sort of talking about quite boastfully speaking about how they've been charged and trusted with setting up this exhibition. A person by the name of Lucella Lomond, who was an employee of the casino, who's basically been asked by the university and by the clients to help with the construction of this and the building works that are currently going on. So they can set up a meet with her if you'd like to go and have some more information, but
I'd love
they know that she's been there, and obviously
Maybe we could have an angle where we go and inspect the building. After all, there's been some recent buildings that have collapsed.
We are experts in maritime law.
Yeah.
And spontaneous building deconstruction as well. Aren't we,
Stop
Aldric?
saying that, she's right here.
from the conversations that you're getting, Karis, around this construction, you're getting some truth and some mistruth in there. And the mistruth is definitely related to not knowing about what happened.
We have no idea.
The bits about maritime law, though.
We know an awful lot.
I'll let it go for now. I mean, I need these guys at the end of the day. I still need a house.
I also think maritime law might leave you out at sea in this instance.
Just
Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Eyes are coming.
Right, so I am going to go and meet Miss Lucilla Lowland with a bottle of my knockoff booze.
Petrol. What?
Yep.
Technically, yes. But,
Nitros.
Yeah, you will find her there inside the club. Sort of, she's garnered a bit of attention. Like, to normally, she's been there for a few days, is what your colleagues tell you. And before, when she first got there, like, obviously people were flocking to her. They wanted to know about this exhibition. Then she just started getting annoying. So you see now that she is kind of still, she's at the bar trying to talk to the barman, and people are sort of avoiding eyes with her. Like, he will serve her drinks and then kind of not hang around for conversation. But she's very, you can hear her from as you approach, sort of like, yeah, I'm setting up. It's going to bring in so much money. She's clearly been in there for a little while and has been at the bar since she got there.
Sounds like top-notch security.
hello. Literally slides in.
What do you want?
What do I want to hear this wonderful story about all this money you're about to make.
Her face absolutely beams at that point, and we'll sort of end.
Let me introduce you to some friends, and I bring over some like journalist types as well, so it doesn't look uber suspicious.
Yeah, so what they'll be is they'll be members of your little gang that you've managed to procure some hats and some notepads for.
We can do that.
Oh, I've left my flat cap downstairs. Damn it.
Yes, Addison.
I was gonna say that I wanted to go next on the old information.
Yeah. We'll ask you at this point, Ben. You'll probably be trying to sway this information out of her.
Am I not consulting because I've brought a bunch of people together?
No, yeah.
That's why
fair.
I called over the interviewers.
You have more people together, so yeah, I'll allow you to make consort. So, control position, normal effect.
4.
4. Yep. So she'll give you the rundown. Obviously, she's very interested in telling you about how she has come about to set up this. She has been in charge. She picked the spot in the studio. She's like, she's so proud of the work that she's done. So you found out that the exhibition hall is in a secluded corner at the back of the casino. You've got the main casino floor, if you imagine, and then if you imagine a sort of archway sign leading off to another side room that has been changed and retrofitted for this exhibition. That's because she's been in charge of the construction of the space where the public exhibition is going to be. So you don't know anything about what actually is in there currently, but obviously you know where that location is and what she's got.
I'm guessing it's a big fuck off diamond from the conversation I had earlier.
Oh, well, you've seen the flyers, haven't you? She's at this point just sort of like, you can tell that she's definitely propping herself up on an elbow. And she sort of looks at you for a second, her eyes glaze over, and she sort of looks back at the barman and then, barman! And then, yeah, she just kind of slumps forward, almost just catches herself like, oh. She's quite wasted. She's still eager to carry on drinking, but she's quite wasted. So yeah, that's the information you gather from her. You can either choose to stay with her for a bit, or you can leave at that point.
Slinking out at that point.
You're going to slink out at that point. Nice. So yeah, that's the information you've managed to garner. You head off. Addison, what does Orlan wish to do to gather some information?
Orlan would like to basically, you, sister of Dimmer. He points at, do you know if private invitations go out already?
Some have, but there are still some yet to be given out.
Good. You come with me. You follow. You keep lookout. And basically, I'm gonna mug a post with one of these invitations. In one of these invitations, I'm gonna grease my hair up. So also as well, just so you're aware, like every time you see me refer to the lady, I've not got my hat on that I usually have on. Like I've always like got it in like my hand, like sister of Dimmer, you will come with me, you will help me, you'll be lookout.
Cool. So what I'll say, I'll make this 2 rolls. I'll have one from Karis and one from Orlan. What I'll say is because you're going out to find you want to mug a postman to
I want
get
to mug one of the people who's sending out the invitations. Yeah.
right. Okay.
Like-
So they're being distributed mostly. You would imagine. What you do is you head into Charter Hall, which is the district where the university is kept. It's quite an affluent district of Duskfall as well, so it's where a lot of the elites will live. The role I like from Karis is survey, because I want you to sort of look around, casing. You're trying to find out which houses roughly would be where the people would live that are going to be invited, and also obviously to get an idea of who's delivering mail to them. Essentially,
If you could make it someone from military, I would deeply appreciate that.
Can I have a hand with the dice roller, please? I have one.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. I can roll them for you. It's so you type. How many points have you got in survey?
1.
You do
One,
exclamation mark 1d6, no spaces.
Yeah. So that's how. I mean, the other thing, you can gain bonus dice. You can push yourself, take 2 stress, or if you'd like, would anyone like to pitch in a devil's bargain here, for casing the area of Charter Hall to try and find out somebody who might have come into possession
I
of one
think
of
I
them?
have devil's bargain.
I've got one.
You go first, James. I'll let you go.
The postie you mug is a former soldier, but not from your side, and he knows you.
Like that.
So you can roll. So to basically identify an individual, you can take an extra d6 to your survey roll. But like I say, that if it's successful, depending on how successful you are, we'll see how it goes. So you can roll 2 d6 instead of 1.
Yeah,
My thing was
I'll
going to
give
be.
it a go.
My thing was
Yeah.
going to be.
If you want, obviously, you don't have to accept that. Obviously, devil's bargains. But if you, again, I think if you,
Let's do it.
It's
Let's
gonna
go all out.
Yeah.
why would you not accept a devil's bargain? That's Ben's mantra. So yeah, exclamation mark and then 2 d6 into
The show chat red herring.
Yeah, the reason Ben says it's
Show
always
chat
worth
red herring,
accepting,
sorry.
he always rolls 1s.
There we go. So that's a 1 and a 4. So we take the 4 as your result because you take the highest number when you roll the skill. So you spend a few hours casing around Charter Hall. You start with the university casino and you work your way out from there, sort of casing the streets, seeing the kind of things that are being taken from the university out. So you see a couple of couriers walking around. You see one that looks very, again, quite a large, surly gentleman who doesn't really have a lot about him. He looks a bit clumsy when he walks around, and you, looking at him, you believe that that man would be an easy target for somebody who might have invitations on him, and you believe he would be a target for Orlan to try and procure an invitation off of.
Right, I will let Orla know that I reckon he's your man.
Yep.
Very well. I grab like a bunch of grease to put through my hair, so my hair goes like really dark, like almost black. And then I go, "I'm very sorry for this. Please allow me to put on my hat." Put on the hat because I need to cover up a little bit. And then,
How modest.
Please excuse me. I have business to attend to, and I basically see if is there anything like loose, like a brick or anything that's like loose that I can just
Yeah,
grab.
there's a few lying around.
Yeah, so it's there is some construction going on around the university. Yeah, so there's a bit of waste material floating about, like some mortar and all sorts like that.
So I just grab like a breeze block or something. I don't know, something big, and I just like walk. I walk with it under my arm, like I'm gonna. So I kind of get ahead of him, walk by him, wait till he's like a step behind me, and then just whoosh, like over the back of his head. I'll take the skirmish roll, please.
Yeah, that'll be a skirmish roll. It'll be controlled position because it's an advantage. You're sort of sneaking up on him doing this, and this will be standard effect.
Just to make you aware, Jordan, because of my hands, I have less effect.
Yep. So it'll be. So we'll say that it's going to take you a little bit more. The effect essentially will be limited because you are sort of struggling to wield this brick that you basically picked up. So we'll say limited effect for you, but it's still a controlled position because of the advantage you're taking in essentially sneaking up on him.
I'll take that 6, please, DM.
There we go. That'll be a 6. So
Would you?
as he walks up again, this man is described as quite a large gentleman, burly, sort of he's been paid to. He's been given a list of addresses, been told basically exactly where they are in terms of how far he has to walk and which turns he has to make, and he's been told to
Right,
deliver
that's right.
what's in the satchel he's carrying to those houses. So you're ahead of him. You let him catch up with you, and then and he goes down quite quickly. He is sort of laying in. Where did you attack him? I'll ask.
I wanted it to be somewhere like either as he's going around a corner or somewhere where I can drag him into a little alleyway or something.
Yep.
Like,
So you can be hiding around the corner of like an alleyway, and then you can hit him and sort of catch him as he falls and just lay him down. You won't be able to pull him far in, but you can lay him down in the entranceway, and he'll be out cold.
I take the list so I know everybody who's on the list.
Yep.
Of people, and I'll take the whole satchel.
Yep. So
Right.
you just grab the whole thing and you head off. So looking inside.
Sister of Dimmer, you do good job. Thank you. I appreciate all your help.
Is there
Yeah.
anyone else around that might have seen that?
What you can see currently, no, but it's not. I mean, you haven't really been able to hide the body very well because of the size of this individual. So again, if you stuck around, you might find out if anyone heard. But
We
Just
go.
put the
We
brick
go.
on top
We
of
not.
him.
Yeah.
cool. So you look inside the satchel and you can see that you've got that list, and you've also got named envelopes for
Very good,
to match
Sister
up
of
with the
Dimmer.
list.
Very good.
We'll say there's 4 in there just for the ease of clarity.
Do I
Five.
take any?
There's
Do I
5
take
in
any stress for that, or
You didn't push yourself, did you, or did you?
no? No pushing or anything. Just
No stress then. No need to worry about that. Anyone else looking to gather any information?
Yeah. I would like to figure out who is putting on the exhibit and what their motivations are for doing it and why they want to put money into the university.
Excellent. So how are you going about doing that?
Probably talking to university contacts and asking them said questions. You know, who are they? Why are they coming? What are they doing? Oh, there's that spider. Sorry, a spider dropped down earlier, and there it is. Bear with me just a second.
Did James just stop mid-sentence to deal with the spider?
I did, yeah,
Who
sorry.
does that?
Well, it was making a web, and it dropped down here, and then I got it, and then it dropped off my hand, and I was like, oh, and then I found it crawling up the bottle of like olive oil stuff in front of me, and I was like, haha, come here, you.
The mini black window, and he drops dead. Fine.
So yeah, I'd ask the university like staff and like PR department who they are, what they want, why do they want to dump money into the university, etc., etc. On the general assumption that it's probably some sort of tax dodge.
Yeah. So what skill will you be using to do that? Describe to me.
Talking to old acquaintances because I don't have any social skills yet because I haven't got enough points in it.
What probably consort, if you could.
Don't have anything in those 4.
If anyone wants to offer a devil's bargain, I will let you roll just a single d6. You have to accept the devil's bargain to roll just the one.
Oh yeah, I know.
I have a feeling I've got one.
Go on. And he's frozen. Or I've frozen. One of the two.
No, he's frozen.
And you're asking all these questions in front of this person.
Say that again because
And
you
it's
froze.
actually the person. Oh, sorry. So you go meet your friend. He's having dinner with someone, and you have this conversation in front of his like dinner guest. But what you don't know about the dinner guest or the lunch guest or whatever is it is actually the person putting on the exhibit.
Ooh. No, I think I'd rather shoot myself in the foot by rolling badly.
Can I offer another devil's bargain?
Go on, yeah.
Yeah.
So you remember you took down that whole building with an automatic peanut desheller?
Yeah.
The guy that you're going to speak to, all of his tenured research was in that building, and he lost everything.
Oh, I'll take that.
Oh, yes, you will take that. So you will go and consort with one of the professors, we'll say, from the university. Is a professor called Naria Templeton. And again, you're asking all the questions that you're asking, so it'll be a consort roll, 2d6 and the lower number, please.
No, because he took the devil's bargain.
Taking a
so it's just
bargain, so
one.
it's just
You have
1d6.
So it's 1d6.
Oh, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Maria Templeton. So I'm just making notes. 4.
4. Cool. So, again, you find this professor and you start making small talk with her. She's not really, I mean, you've caught her at a busy time. She's not really, sorry, excuse me. She's not really got time to talk, so she's rushing around like, oh, yeah, what, like, and you obviously ask, maybe you get the impression that maybe she's had people already asking her these sorts of questions.
Okay.
About and you basically come to learn that the person who has set this exhibition up is a Eruvian noble who is new to the city, quite a rich noble, and who is looking to stamp their status onto the university in particular by essentially bringing in some money to it and doing something that they think will attract some more foot traffic into the casino, which is a money maker for the university, as I'm sure you can imagine. So, because Charterhall University is the Cambridge, if you will, of Duskfall, it's the university where science and research occurs, as opposed to literacy and history and that sort of thing.
But also that means that to keep themselves funded, they've got their dick in a lot of pies, and they've got a lot of income from various places, right?
Yep.
I believe
Got
the
it.
expression is
This-
finger, but yes.
Yeah, finger.
Yeah, finger, dick, same thing. Close your eyes.
Just a real
So
quick
that-
question.
Yes.
Same thing.
Is Sean's character Eruvian, right?
No, he is Tikaros,
Tikros,
Yeah.
sorry.
demonic heritage. So it's an Eruvian noble by the name of Elestra Avenrath.
You're going to have to spell some of these like Eruvian.
Yep.
With an I or an E.
Iruvian, Eruvian.
Yep. And the name of the fella?
Elestra, Elestra, and then Avarthl.
James, mate, there's not going to be a written portion. You could
Avrithel.
just
No,
write
I just take
phonetically.
notes. No, trust me, I will forget the name by the end of the episode if I don't write it down.
Lovely. So, like I say, again, having this conversation sort of rather quickly, you get the information you need. She's like, can you see I'm quite busy. Can you just, and at that moment, as she sort of says, you can see I'm quite busy, she glances at you and you realize at this point, she hasn't actually looked at your face yet during this conversation. And she stops when she looks at you and goes, what the fuck are you doing back here?
I'm just asking a few harmless questions.
At this point, she sort of drops what she's holding and she sort of jams her finger in your chest and is like, you have got some fucking explaining to do.
Now, look, in all fairness, the peanut sheller is coming along nicely. We've learned a lot from the last incident.
Incident?
We'll be perfecting the imperfections that caused the terrible loss of the building
I don't want to
and
see
its
you.
contents.
Well, why don't you fucking do that when you're not around here? You just fuck. She's making a bit of a scene at this point. You notice people are starting to look your way. You fuck off out of here.
I'll just I'll put on a hat and I'm very sorry. You
Jordan,
must have
is
me confused
there
with someone else. Detour.
Jordan, is there any kind of in-game resource I can give you to put a gun in this scene, or?
Big blunderbuss.
Well, how would you do that, then? Tell me.
With fully loaded blunderbuss with a bad tree, based on the.
I don't know, like maybe she could fish one out of a drawer or something. I just think it would be,
They're outside at this point, so we're not for that. Again, she's making discards, sort of yelling at you for what previously happened. Clearly, still affected by it. Are you off?
Yeah. Put on hat. Disappear. I've got most of what I need to know. I think.
He shouts and screams at you for a while. You kind of look back. You eventually the voices die down. She looks back at you, and you notice sort of people have come over to help. The people that were looking before have kind of come over to help her gather up her paperwork that she dropped. You do notice them sort of checking on her, asking a conversation that you can't hear, but obviously that's what you see as you slink off.
Okay. Cool.
So that is what you hear. You learn about the proprietor, if you will, of this new exhibition hall. Silas, is there anything you want to do just to gather information?
Yes, there is. We're not going to be the only gang that's likely to try and pull this job off. I've got a feeling it's going to attract a lot of gang potential here where other gangs may get involved. So I kind of want to spread the press rumour that the exhibition has been delayed. I don't mind if it costs coin to do this, but I want to kind of get the message out there on the street that the exhibition's had to be delayed a few months. More on this later, some sort of breaking story where hopefully it gets into most people and spread it as well through the various sources I've got. The Black Lamps, they're a great place to tell people that, this exhibition's been cancelled. Get it into let COP know. Get it into
is this the public? Because remember, there'll be a private viewing before, but then the public exhibition won't be open for another couple of weeks anyway. So
yeah, I want to make it kind of thing that this has been delayed generally, just in the public, the public domain, because that will put off the gangs if they're planning any kind of job. They might be thinking, right, we'll have to stop. We know it's going ahead, but we want to be the only ones that know it's going ahead.
Good shout. Good fucking shout.
So again, that'll be you'll sort of be consorting then with your fellow gang members to try and spread that rumor around. So I'll let you roll for that just to see how successful you are.
Well, I've got one in that as usual. It's the usual one. I'm not worried about any bargain. I'll take whatever comes up on the die. I'm not worried about it. If it's a one,
I love these.
They know full well it's bluffed. But I
love it when they say I take whatever that comes up.
And I was just thinking.
Oh, did you roll some dice? I didn't change the stream overlay.
That's fine. That's a 5. So you've managed to briefly pop around in the few hours you've got spare. You rub shoulders with the likes of Christoph from the Lamp Blacks.
Yeah.
You give a message to Cobb to sort of spread around the city. Like, on you, I'll give you it if you give me some more of that.
Oh yeah, just help yourself. There's plenty of that.
We can't turn Cobb into an alcoholic, guys. We have to cross. We have to draw a line somewhere.
Information as like a town crier
in maritime law.
Blue coat as he goes around, but he's shouting this up. The rumours that he's heard in return for the promise of the honest, pretty shit moonshine.
We're medicating him. We're medicating him like a street cop.
Technically, under maritime law, he's allowed 3 shots of rum a day, so it's fine. It's perfectly okay.
Yeah, but Silas, this is essentially engine fuel, mate.
Exactly, nitros. It's good for you. He probably shoots around town.
So yeah, we'll say that obviously the rumours of this exhibition have been circulating for a while now. Christoph has heard of it when you mention it to him.
Yeah,
and you are able to sort of. Yeah, you are able to sort of, through a previous sort of mutual comradeship that you had, kind of say to him, "Oh yeah, well, I've heard reliably that it's been delayed," and he does kind of take that as a, "Oh, okay." Then.
You know what I'm like? I go in there very bullshit. It's all, come on, Vive la Revolution, brothers. We go in, Black Lamps forever. I say I carry one in. I always
you sort of. You notice
a new thing as well. I've sort of invented for them on behalf of them. We carry a brick around. It's now important part of the revolution. Carry a brick, very very important.
So you notice when you go in there this time, you don't really get the same sort of reaction that you did before.
That's okay.
The reaction before was very much a bar, a tavern atmosphere where it's like lots of cheering. No matter who said what, they were cheering it. This time they're a bit more reserved. They're kind of more focused. But yet, like I say, you're able to go through. Pass on the information to Christoph, and he thanks you for it. Says, "I appreciate the help."
If you've got anything planned for the job, it's pointless. Just thinking of you and your lads.
Well, I'm waiting for them to extract that brick off you.
Yeah, I think it might be on the back of the head in a minute.
Well, in sync, I see you and me. He says.
Yeah, don't worry. Well, I'm always there for your brother. Don't you worry about that. Remember, black bricks today, or wall tomorrow. Don't you worry about that.
That's everything that you that's everything that's the information you've been able to gather. So you've got obviously rough location of it in the casino. You've got about the person who's funded this. You have managed to procure some invitations to this private social event. And I believe you said earlier, are you willing to accept social as your plan here? Are you going to try and go for that?
Absolutely.
That private viewing, essentially.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
why not?
Cool.
Yeah, I've got the invites to try and forge one. So I don't know if anybody can do that, but
So you've got 4 invites. They are named under different individuals, but obviously we're not talking about a timeline where they've got cameras to be able to face match people here. But obviously the invitations are named, so
I'll just lie.
Okay, this is what we find out it's 4 women.
I'm
Gonna be a
also,
problem. We're gonna do our best.
I'm also not going in DM. Just to get GM, just letting you know, I will not be part of the 4 going inside. I have a different idea.
okay.
I'll
What?
flash back to it.
Okay.
Okay. So what's is it going to be? Is it going to put you in a different position to these guys at the beginning of this?
Are we gonna like let you in the door or something? Like let you in the back door?
No. No.
Are you going to turn up wearing a penguin suit, serving as canapes at some point?
Something like that. Not just me though.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So we'll say then that we'll make the engagement roll. We'll make it for the 4 of you, and then feel free to jump in when you feel, Addison, with your little side gig. So, as usual, I've got the wrong sheet in front of me, and I have not got the list of questions prepared. But we will get there. Because I'm only human, guys.
Well, in this lull that seems perfect for me to plug my new video. Regicide, Pyramid Schemes, and more tales of that, guys, now available to watch over on YouTube.
Sean, tell me
on the
you've
Flickering
watched this.
Talk.
Tell me
video.
you've
Quality video. I was very good. I very much enjoyed that.
You definitely need to watch them. If you don't watch any of the videos on Ben's channel, that's one you need to watch.
But obviously,
And
watch all the
any
Blades in the
follow-up
Dark
parts.
videos as they come out.
Yeah, and you should also watch season 1 of Knights Black Agents Blood Feud. That is an excellent piece of programming. Actually, just like, subscribe, and comment on everything.
Yes.
Especially
So,
episode 5.
what we will say is we'll make the engagement roll, as we always do to start the scores, which is how we jump straight into the action. You get 1d6 for the engagement roll for sheer luck, and then is this plan particularly bold or daring? First question.
We're just going to waltz in the front door and nick a diamond. That's pretty daring.
That is pretty daring. So you get an additional d6 for your engagement roll. Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors? Are there
There's a
lots
lot of factors at play if it goes wrong.
Is there?
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily call it.
Either we get caught and identified as not, or we don't.
But it's... Yeah.
I wouldn't necessarily call it overly complicated because it's a single location you're attacking. So I won't. That's not a -1. Does a plan expose a vulnerability or hit them where they're weakest?
I'd say it
I
does
would-
because there's going to be less people there.
That's a good
Certainly,
point.
it certainly would expose a vulnerability in their security.
That is
Yeah,
a good
That doesn't necessarily
Yeah.
expose.
I think
was
it's
the
also
second
the
half of
weakest point we could hit them as well.
Yeah,
because
That's
at
fair.
least
I'll
one-
give you an additional 1 for that. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do you have any particular defenses? So what I will say there is, it is like it's an exhibition that is housing quite expensive jewelry, so they probably do have some. You don't know necessarily the particulars, but they maybe do have some defenses to pair for being robbed, essentially. But you argue to me whether they're set up yet.
Well, I would imagine that they have defenses to being robbed from people who aren't supposed to already be in the building. But if you're already in the building...
Hey,
Also,
That's not a -1 for that.
those defenses might change with my flashback.
Okay, well, we'll come to that. Don't worry. We'll let
Just
that
the whole brick back wall comes off.
There aren't. I mean, you've kind of got your. I'll give you 1 more for weaving the web. Aldric,
Thank you.
we've dealt with the rivals that possibly would have had a faction. So, and again, no minus. So this is probably one of the highest engagement rolls pools we've got, guys. It's 4d6 for this engagement roll.
hooray! You watch it all be ones.
Determines how much of a good position you will be in when we begin this score. So 4d6. Ben, have you got the thing open?
I have got the dice bot open. Thank you.
Lovely. No, that's good. That's a controlled position for the party. So what we'll say is you take your, I guess, again, the 4 of you that are going, you take your invitations and you...
Are we?
I'm guessing
Well,
us 4 have to have light loads, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one question.
Yeah, Gonna
How-
say it's 4 for light load, 1 for whatever, right?
3 for light, 5 for normal. But I assume you're all going light.
No, as in like 4 of us.
Yeah, 4 is going
One,
light. Yeah.
one not.
Colin,
so.
how are you going?
Okay.
Addison, how are you traveling?
I would say normal because of how I'm
Okay.
going to try and get into this party.
Okay then. So we will again, the four of you will head in. We'll say that you're all able to procure. You're able to clean yourselves up a bit, basically, with all your backgrounds and your recluse, like what you're able to procure. Basically, you're able to make yourselves look a bit the
Can I
part.
say, speak for yourselves as a former professor who generally keep an air of
You've got
cleanliness and well dressed about us?
You've got a professor. Obviously, Silas is from a nobility, more of a noble background. Aldric can procure what he needs.
We'll throw Aldric in the river and give him a scrub with a brush. It's fine.
Aldric can procure what he needs to where he needs it, and Karis, you can grab anything that you wish as well to enter this
We're
fight. So you've managed to.
supposed to look respectable, Silas, not like youth and oodlums, you know.
Yeah. So for the social
I do
aspect,
have
saying
a
you
fine
arrive.
disguise.
Sorry, go on.
I do have a fine disguise kit. And in fact fine clothes and jewelry. So I'll go properly dressed up.
Nice.
Lovely. So are you going to tick off your fine clothes and jewelry? Yep. So just tick that off on your sheet. You are now student. You very much look like you belong here. You probably want to go ahead of these guys then, because let's be honest, like the person who sees you accepts your invitations. We'll say there was an invitation in there that was a female name, and the rest were male. How convenient. And you go through first. Obviously, you get some. Oh, just please. Like you sort of, they look at your invitation, but they kind of usher you through. Are these gentlemen with you? Oh, come on through. You've arrived at this private viewing exhibition a little bit before time. You say you arrive at about 6:30. They're admitting people. There are a few people running around. There are men there. There are refreshments set out, and he's like, "Just don't worry. He'll be along soon, and it'll all be explained. Please enjoy."
I'll go
I would
in,
like to take my
grab a
flash.
drink,
Oh,
and
you go first.
Fabulous.
I'll go in and grab a drink and start wandering.
Yeah, so you all go in. You've managed to make it past you're inside the exhibition. Like obviously, maybe if you'd rolled a bit lower, you probably would have been stuck at the door or even further back. But you managed to make it through that first barrier, which is you're inside the exhibition, and you are just milling about at the minute, waiting for it to start. Orlan, we will come to you. How are you entering this? Through a flashback,
So,
I'd say.
My flashback makes it, hopefully, if it's successful, that I'm the one who checks them in, and my friends are the people who are security, because I go to a particular Scotland refugee camp, and I go to see my mother. In which
Okay.
case, I go to see my mother. I wash my hair. I dress up really nicely, and I go to I'm not going to say like a grand tent, but a more comfortable tent than all the rest. And the first thing I do is I kneel down in front of a woman on a seat, and I say, "All hail Queen Anastasia, who, as she lives, Scotland independence also does." And this is my mother.
You're not doing this in front of a statue. It's an actual person. You're doing this.
It's an actual person. She's like in a really nice or more comfortable tent in this like particular refugee camp. We're pretty much hiding her in plain sight.
Right.
And the reason why she's so well hidden is because even though rumors are that the 42nd Vanguard were eliminated, they were not. They are actually my mother's personal guard.
Right.
And
So we'll play this out like a mini scene. So you obviously do that, and she's sort of sitting there in this tent. Rise, child. I'll do Russian woman. Why not? Making me do a female Russian accent, Addison. Thank you so much for that. Rise, my child.
Mama, it's good to see you. I am sorry that I have not been. I've been helping in other camps. I do not know if you have heard.
I have heard of your help that you have given, and it is greatly appreciated. Sure, you know of what has happened recently with the war, and with our people flocking to the city in more numbers, and wherever there is help, I appreciate.
I will do what I can, Mama.
Why you have come here today, though, is not to just touch base and to see how I am. I believe there is maybe something I can do for you.
Mama, I have lead on something that could give us help for people. I need to borrow the 42nd from you, if you do not mind.
I do not believe I could spare all of them. There are quite a few more that have turned up recently. Maybe a few. How many would you be able to manage with, do you think?
Standard security protocol at places like this, would I know about it? Like, would I know, like, how many I would need to, like, be a full team?
So you'd probably be able to get away with about 6 for the entire exhibit. Like, again, it's quite a small exhibit, so there'll be some people outside, a couple inside, and...
Yeah, so... 1 second, I need to... I'm currently researching how to say numbers in. Sześć, Mama.
6. Okay.
6.
You sort of look. She looks at you like she didn't really understand what you were saying before. When you sort of held your hands up, did she understand you?
So
Yes, I can do that for you. Yes, that is something that we can arrange. What is it you would like to use them for? I'm curious.
we have found somewhere that is selling acquired relics from the war, and they wish to display them as symbols of our humiliation. I would like to reacquire them, and some friends of mine have already are already setting up to help. So I was wondering if you could help as well. I will donate a portion of the take to your camp and your welfare, as I have been since the offset of this enterprise I am with my friends.
No. Yes, I very much appreciate the work that you go on to do for us, both within and out of these camps. If you believe that you can help them, then you go right ahead. You can take the 42nd men, you bring them back, you make sure I need every man. You remember this, of course, but I will want them back. But you can use them to achieve what goals you seek. Cool.
I appreciate it.
So what we'll say is after this. So, Karen, you had a question.
I was going to say, if I need to roll for this, can I use this as command? Because I'm using.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So you, instead of she basically points you towards the men, and you go up to them and you start giving them orders and telling them what's going to happen. So this will be a command roll. Here's a devil's bargain for you, Addison.
Mm-hmm.
So you obviously mentioned to Queen Anastasia, was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that you were trying to recover relics from your homeland. These are Eruvian jewels that are in the exhibition, not Scotland. So you can take an additional D6 for command, but any spoils that any time that she wishes to reclaim on the spoils, she will realize that actually you told her this was something that it wasn't. How's that sound?
I have a feeling that, yeah, I was going to offer something else, but fine.
Does that sound good? I mean, you can offer, if you don't like the sound of that, then
my bargain was that my enemy was there as a guest, as one of the guests, and like at this private viewing. And that enemy is Mercy, a cold killer. But if you actually translate Mercy into Scotland, it is my sister.
I like that more.
Can I have another devil's bargain for that?
You can have another devil's
Similar
bargain.
to yours, the man who defeated you on the field of battle, a famous Akarossi general, will be in attendance, and he will recognise you, not as a criminal, but as a defeated general.
Wait, what is Orland's rank? I didn't think it was general.
Captain.
I'm a captain, but actually that was a cover, because technically I'm prince.
I fucking thought so. I thought I had had enough to drink. Yeah.
Why are we living in a sinking houseboat if you're a fucking prince?
I'm a prince of refugees,
You also have a
motherfucker.
noble.
He's the pauper prince. That's what
Yeah. I'm a prince of
His mum's
refugees.
living in a tent. We're like,
Do you know what,
Yeah.
Addison? I am going to let you choose to do this if you want. We've pitched you a few devil's bargains. You can accept multiple ones if you like.
And
I'll take-
I could twist any of them by saying, and your mother would like to attend as well.
I don't think.
So that
I'll
she's
see
in the room when
what
any of these bargains are going down.
How many, if any, of these would you like to accept? I will let you accept as
I'll
many of them as you
take-
like.
I'll take the Akarossi general who
Yeah.
kicked my ass at the last battle, and I'll take my sister. So that gives me an additional 2.
Yeah, I will let. So both of those things will happen. But yeah,
It's a
so you're commanding these men into
It's meant to
uniform
be
and
a
to basically see how.
dynamite. It's turning into a political nightmare.
And a family
So-
reunion.
Oh, and I'm sorry,
So
Sean,
basically-
the last revolution wasn't good enough.
So basically,
Yeah.
we're going to be like hire ourselves as like mercenary guards to the university to guard this exhibit.
Yep.
And
I'm
like
sure,
with our
I'm sure
war
I could make that happen.
with
So
our
we'll
with
say
our
that
war
you do command-
credentials, we're like perfect is my thing. Like with our war credentials, and so that's why I'd say we'd go normal because we'd have like arms.
Yeah, you'd be packing peace.
So you go for command, to command
Yeah.
commanding these men to, and you're also going to be. Go ahead. What did you roll? I'm just going to check.
5, 4, 3, and 1.
Yep. So the 5 is the highest number there. So you are able to successfully rally these members of the 42nd, and you get them all to the venue like early. You go and meet with one of the attendees there. We'll say that you meet with Lucella, the curator, previously consorted with by Aldric.
Hello, my name is Orden. These are my men. We are the 42nd Mercenary Company. It's lovely to meet you.
She sort of stands there. She seems to be sort of quite distracted. Her eyes aren't really in focus. You think she might have quite a hangover. But
I am
she's
like mega clean, by the way. Like I've shaved. Like I've got my bright red hair. Like
Yeah. well, she'll sort of look at you when you come over, like, can you sort this? Are you here to sort this event? Because mate, I really can't be fucked at the minute.
sure thing, friend. I like clap them on the shoulder. I'm like, we
What?
do what we can for you, boys. Across.
She points towards us like, she points towards like a store cover. She's like, it's changing there, and I'm gonna go and lie down. And she turns around and slinks off.
I get a couple of the girls because they're like in Scotland, we let women fight, and I get some of the girls to like be like waitresses.
Yeah.
Like-
So you'll say. So what we'll say is 6 men. You've got 4 male who are security. They're not security in the exhibition because these elites don't really want to see muscle when they're out viewing their spoils. So they'll be sort of around. They'll be kind of in the casino. We'll say, sort of watching.
Would I be like pit boss then? Would I be like on the? Am I the only one who's on the casino floor?
So you said you wanted to be admitting people.
Yeah, but then I'd go inside once admittance is done.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that,
So you'd
like,
be admitting-
because, yeah, head of
You'd
security.
be
Sort of
admitting
thing.
people on the door, and you would be ushering. So you've ushered our party in, and for now, that's what you're doing. You're stood at the door. Sort of, you've got your
Do you want
security.
me to take any stress for that?
Take 2 stress for that, please. Yeah, that was quite a complicated action.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't clear stress last time, did you? Good.
I'm shaking. You see me like at one point. You just see me grab a drink and just like put it down.
Yeah, you
randomly screaming at punters.
all of you recognise as Orlan waves you through. That's how you get that. He's the person who accepts your invitations.
Come on in, friends.
Thank you very much. Oh, marvellous. Where do we go?
So
Straight
you're
in
a
there,
minute
please,
to mill
friends.
about.
Ah, brilliant. I start walking around, wandering, looking at things. Even if they're not in the exhibit, it doesn't matter.
The Dimmer sister's wearing like fine clothing and fine jewellery, right? Oh bloody hell, Karis! I want to stud you up if you look like that. Jesus Christ!
I
I mean,
slap
missed
you on the
our
back and
day
say
for
you'd know
totally
about that,
legitimate
wouldn't you?
reasons.
Yeah, I walk past you, slap you on the back, and say, "You'd know about that, wouldn't you, Aldric?" And deviate, disappear off.
I thought someone nicked all your
I'll
jewellery. Where'd you
kind
get that
of-
from?
I'll hook my arm kind of through yours, link my arm through yours, and I'll say, "So what were you doing last week?" I understand that it must have been so important, and I just want you to share that with me.
Have you heard about the ghost canals? I was on the ghost canals last week. We got bloody
It's
robbed.
good.
I had to strangle someone to death.
He stood you up for a ghost.
You could say he ghosted you, like I walked by.
Or you could look it as like you could take it like.
Cool. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. That's.
You could take it like a film, like Ghost. How good was that? Romantic connection, the film Ghost. A lot of that. Very good.
Yeah, so I'm not technically lying because that's what I was doing last week. It was just a different day.
Yeah, no. So yeah, you do. You get the. He's not like being completely untruthful with you, Paris. There's a bit of tension there, but he's not being completely untruthful.
Is there a possibility there's a little violin playing and a pottery wheel in one of the corners starting to spin? Just
We'll say that at this point you've had. Again, there's a bit more being created. So there is. We'll say there is a violinist in the corner now that's come in to set up. Again, they look like just some.
yeah, beautiful.
Almost like an Akarossi street musician that's been pulled in, or maybe even a student. We'll say they're a student from the university.
I was going to say, students, you don't have to pay them.
Yeah. We'll say there's a student from the university there, a little student band, say 4
Probably
violinists in
slightly
the corner.
deaf from the recent explosion in the building.
Yes. And you see that more and more people have been coming in. You notice that one of those individuals is a certain Professor Templeton that has come in to check out the exhibition. Looks a bit stressed. She's probably had a stressful day. Something, I don't know, something's happened in that day, maybe, or she's obviously looking forward to reading. She goes straight for the refreshment table, grabs a couple of glasses, knocks one of them back, sort of has the other one, but doesn't take long before she starts sipping out of that as well.
Okay.
Just to clarify, all the people we've ever wronged are in this one bar, right?
It's not looking so good, is it? Look, there's people that want us dead here.
Maybe a little bit.
I've got 2 who are like out to fucking torture me. And I did that to myself.
No.
I did that to myself. Like,
I mean, mine's literally on my arm.
Oh, so you see, like you now noticed that there is some activity around. This woman that's walked in. She's one of the professors, obviously Professor Templeton. She goes and she meets up with Lucella Lomond, who's also in attendance, who you should notice is up near the front, sort of checking out the exhibition stuff. And they're sort of talking. They're pointing at the exhibits. They're kind of covered at the moment, but they are like, this is where obviously you can tell that there will be a presentation soon. Anything you want to do in the sort of 10 minutes in game? That
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna from a bandolier pull out an extremely potent little bottle of something, add it to a drink, and send it via one of Orlan's guys, or girls, should I say, to the professors to make them sleep.
you want to
Bit
send
too drunk.
they're like a sleep
Oh, what a shame.
powder, basically.
Well, it'll be mixed into whatever they're drinking, and their drinks will be supplied by a nice Scotland girl with a tray who just come along and go, "Hey guy, da-dum."
Cool.
But there'll be knockout
get-
juice.
You sort of from underneath your coat, you pull out. It's like a small bandolier you've got with you,
Mhm.
and you pull out a little bottle and you add it to a couple of the drinks. You place them on the tray for this one of this waitress girls, and you point over to the 2 women conversing in the corner, and she heads over there. And then she gets there. They sort of turn. Oh, fine. They take them. They're still talking, so they kind of take them and just hold them for a bit. But they've got them.
Cool.
Lovely.
Just mark a use down of that bandolier.
We just
Yes.
mingle around in a few minutes while waiting for the exhibition to start. We're truthfully, we've no
Yeah.
plan here at all. We're just waiting for it to kick off.
Yeah.
So we're just mingling around. Marvelous exhibitions, bloody top hole.
I want to go see if I can find any famous Akarossi figures, perhaps very famous generals.
You say that, so you sort of turn towards the door, and you notice that one of the as you can watch the crowd sort of being emitted, there is one individual that comes in. Everyone else has kind of come in very fine, normal clothes. They don't look dissimilar to yourselves. There's one man who turns up in military dress, very large
You
green
do see
jacket.
all of us.
Second?
Grimace. You see all of us, like every single one of us from the 40-second grimaces as we see this guy stone faced. Like if we weren't already pale, like
Yeah. So you, interestingly enough, Orlan. So you go up. So he walks. Hear him,
Lord
and
Bigsby.
you. Say again.
Are you Lord Bigsby? I say as I put a hand out to him.
Well, again, just before that happens, as he comes in, he hands his invitation to you, Orlan, to inspect, and just sort of stands there, broad-shouldered, and he cocks his head. Well,
evening, sir. It's good to see you. I'm glad that you are in attendance and that you will have a good time.
sort of snatches the invitation back, and he sort of walks off. Fucking Scotland.
I'm sorry that you are distressed, sir. It seems like a personal problem. Please come back again any time.
He sort of turns to you at that point and he goes, "Don't try your fucking luck, son."
As this is heating up, I'll go over. Lord Bigsby! Lord Bigsby! Oh, we haven't met yet, sir, but I'm really proud, and I try to take him off at that point, and I just give the death glare to Orlan as I'm trying to take this guy off.
Do I know you, son?
Oh, you haven't had the pleasure yet. Come meet my lovely date here, Garrus. This is Lord Bigsby. I'm trying to just skirt away from all the goblins who want to kill him.
As he sort of looks towards Garrus, he sort of you're sort of grabbing him by the arm, manhandling him a bit, and he looks at Garrus and he's very much, his demeanor changes. He sort of shrugs you off, straightens his jacket, and he walks towards you, Garrus, and he sort of bows. My lady. It's a pleasure to be in the company of such a fine young woman on just such a monumental evening for our great city.
Good evening, my lord. Charm and looks, I see.
Ah, quite. Would you please join me for a drink? Allow me. It's my pleasure.
Of course, I would love
lose his bride.
So he offers a hand to you, Paris.
I'll take it.
So I'm Lord. Technically, he's just proposed, so that's good news.
Cool. So he ushers you off at this point. We'll say that there's a table for generic champagne flutes, but there's also a little bar area, a little man sort of serving fine spirits and things like that you go and you do actually buy things from. So we'll take you over there and whatever you wish, madam.
Just a quick thing. Would I be aware of the tension between him and Orlan? Or because I don't know these guys particularly
No, so you'd
well.
know of the sort of history between the Akaros and the Scovlands. They were involved, and up until very recently, they were involved in a large war, which was eventually won by the Akaros, which is the Duskfall residents. And a lot of Scovlands have had to leave their homeland and basically move to Duskfall as refugees. So there are lots. So the presence of them in the city, especially to an individual like Lord Bigsby, would, again, he's not happy. He
Possibly a bit xenophobic is our Lord Bigsby.
Possibly, yes. So he's not a fan, really not a fan, and he's kind of
Conservative governments everywhere, aren't they?
So that's the last. That is the last. He is the last one to attend, be admitted. Obviously, that's your job as doorman over for now, Orlan. And as you all hear a sort of a knocking sound that comes, everyone sort of, the room sort of sounds, and you turn towards this covered exhibition, and this man in a sort of very formal dress, with a little bow tie and large sort of flowing coat, comes out into the stage, and he's like, greetings all, greetings and welcome to this inaugural exhibition. I hope you like what we've done with the place. This is an Eruvian man of, you tell that from his heritage. And he sort of says, my name is, let me just remember his name. Yep. He says his name. I can't pronounce it off the top of my head. He says his name. And once again, I would like to welcome you all to this exhibition of what I hope can be a very profitable venture for us all, shall we? Yes, some cheers come from the other patrons in the room. And just a few more minutes and we shall be ready to to show you where it is that our fine exhibits will one day be displayed. He gestures at what's covered in front of him.
One day.
Is there just the one covered display, or are there multiple?
There's sort of like, there are a few that you can see. There's 3 main cases. There's one central and then 2 sort of slightly smaller ones at the side that are all currently covered over.
Showing of some of them tonight, though, won't we, I say?
Well, maybe, sir, maybe. But, of course...
Honest, we would, you know. As a benefactor and patron of this place, I say, I was rather hoping I might get a little look.
As Silas is arguing, can I sneak out and go to the back... What did we say it was? The back corner of the...
Back corner of the casino.
The casino.
Yes.
Please, thank you.
Yes, so you've got Prowl, haven't you, Ben?
No.
Cool. Roll 2d6 for me and take the lower number. Just to see how effectively you manage to sneak out without...
3, 2, 1. Falls over every table on the way. I mean...
I had a way to do this without sneaking, but okay.
What's your lowest one?
I'm just going to
He's not
black
rolled it yet.
Nobody worry about it. If everyone sees me leave, I'll just pretend something's happening.
I'm making a lot of noise anyway. I thought we'd get a chance to see the exhibition this evening.
Helping them.
That
Gi-
is
giving
so
the aid.
fucking
That is
bollocks.
such a shame, Ben. I'm so sorry.
So,
Nice.
wait. I would like to, at this point, do a flashback.
Go on, then.
So, I guess, like, Aldric very obviously stumbles over a table and a bunch of glasses fall on the floor and everyone turns to look at him. And at that point, we flash back to Aldric going to his friends at the Transport Guild.
Yeah.
The people who pulled someone's house down a few months ago. And outside of this casino is like a big old military statue of Lord Bigsby himself from when he run the Akarosi War. They built a big statue of him. And I am convincing my good friends that this guy is actually a Scotland sympathiser. And he didn't crush them as quickly as he thought as quickly as he could, specifically because he wanted them to win the war and he was going to turn coats. But he only won the military victories after he could do nothing for the Scotlands.
Interesting. So who are you telling this to again? One of your little...
The Transport Guild.
Oh, the Transport Guild.
Yeah.
Right. So what impact will that have on the current situation?
I'm going to convince them to pull that statue down.
Statue down, yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to say, this is the same transport guild that transported the house away, right?
Yeah, they carefully
So
bring
you,
my
um,
drink.
What the fuck? Why?
Give me a consort roll, please, Aldric, for being able to set this up effectively.
Can we not just
4.
leave?
4. Yep. So we'll say that you are able to convince your members of the Transport Guild that
Oh my
Lord
God.
Bigsby is not all. Like, he's not the great man that he seems to have bigged himself up to be. Bigsby. That's how ironic. But so they are going to. So what we'll say is we flash back to the present. You've just tripped, and then everyone's sort of turned, and then instantly someone runs through the door, and he's like, "Lord, my lord," he's addressing Lord Bigsby. "Please, you have to. There's been an incident. Please come with me." And he sort of looks at you.
You are actually a dickhead because this is going to come back on me.
Frustrated.
Lord Bigsby's statue and his head's come off.
He looks back at Harris,
Nice.
who's currently got his arm locked with, and sort of puts a drink in his hand, and he's like, "Hold this for me, my love, until I return."
I'm just going to go clean up because I've got all this champagne down me. I'm going to just go in the back and clean. Don't worry about me, guys. I'll be fine.
My instant thought on this situation playing out around me is that there's another man who's left her side. Must be a reason. Must be a reason. But they run out on her all the time, the poor girl.
And every time someone runs out on us, something gets pulled down.
And it's not your trousers. But
Good point. Good point.
Some construction work gets pulled down. Sorry, I'll rephrase that.
Good clarification there. Nice recovery.
Scaffolding required.
Oh god.
So he will head out at this point, out of this little exhibition suite, to this, this sort of young sort of NCO approach to get also in military, like active military dress rather than ceremonial. And sort of clap him around the ear, and you'll hear as they both march off, you'll hear him going, "Better have a good bloody explanation for this, boy."
I go and meet Aldric, and I go, I kind of wrap my arm around him and I go, "This way, please, sir," because we would have got briefed on the layout, wouldn't we, and where everything was.
Yeah.
Which is what I was gonna do, Ben.
Oh, I already knew where the diamond was. I was just trying to sneak out.
So I go, excuse me, let me help you here, sir. And I grab you and I'm like, for fuck's sakes, man, do you know how much I've had to pull to get this done? And I take you to the back corner.
Look, I'm gonna level with you here, Orlan. All I had to pull was down one statue, mate.
Nice. So again, what we'll say at this point before you slink out, so Orlan sort of escorts you from the premises as everyone sort of turns, and he's like, sort of the Eruvian Lord speaks from the stage. If we can all get back to the matter at hand, I believe that's what we came here for. And he raises his arms, and there's another round of sort of cheers. And he goes, "I believe I've kept you waiting far too long. Shall we have a look?" And again, you hear a round of yays.
Yes. Let us get on with this, I say.
Quite. And he goes up and he sort of grabs the sheets and he pulls them back. And you see these very, very ornately decorated.
I'm gonna throw in a flashback. You actually see nothing.
But again, it's not really a flash. How would?
No, hear me out. You see, the flashback I would throw in is myself and the engineering department of the university building these cases so that they are secure. Not that there's actually anything missing out of the case, but so that there appears to be nothing in the case when they've opened them.
And I'm struggling to understand how that actually looks. Sorry.
So rather than opening the case and seeing gems and
So
jewelry,
he's not opening them; he's uncovering them with a sheet.
Yeah.
in that case, a little more description on the cases. Are they? I'm imagining like a cupboard case, so they're not see-through in any way.
No, so they're display cases. So again,
Right. Okay. In that case, I will have a similar flashback, but not right now.
Yeah. So he pulls the sheets back. There's these very ornately decorated cases, sort of embossed down the outside with there and you notice that there are plinths on the inside. There are descriptions from Eruvian, of the items. You can see that there are items present. However, they are definitely not diamonds. They are sort of mock-up.
Where's the real McCoy? I came here specifically to see the real things. These are obviously fakes, I say. Fakes!
Obviously, sir. Hear me out, sir. This invitation event was for you to see the exhibition that we have put on and to learn and to become excited about the real thing. We wish to share that. Of course, we would not wish, if we understand Duskfall is a diverse city, we would not wish to simply confine such viewings to the elites. We want to share with everybody, of course.
That's bloody disastrous. I'm trying to keep a cover going here while they're all fanning around in the back. Let them do what they've got to do in the background. Just keep it going. This is terrible. I don't know how you poor people feel, but I feel like I've been treated like scum.
We get a split screen of Aldric taking off his soiled dinner jacket, putting on his gloves, and then he gets the bolt cutter from a couple episodes ago. He's just got that strapped to his back, John McClane style.
I noticed as well, I say to the crowd, I noticed that Lord Bigsby left even before they pulled back the covers. He must have known that it was all going to be a load of shambolic nonsense.
Bigsby at this point, no, it's not Bigsby. This man's name is Lord.
Do you remember when we said social, discreet? Do you remember that? Do you anybody know?
Discreet as a fart in a lift so far. We're doing well.
So, I want to point out we socially got in the building. We're just not going to socially leave it.
We got socially let in by one of our mates.
Where are you heading off? So what I'll say is Orlan will know from initially getting in, initially setting up, that there is another room at the back of this. So there was like a sort of strong room. Or you were pointed in the direction of a room to get changed into your uniform, and you were able to access that. But there was another room there that was secure that you weren't able to access. Detail that I'll slank in. So is that where you guys are currently heading?
Yeah,
so
that's where
Lucia Lowland told me where they kept the stuff before it went on display, so we're going there.
Yeah, so you were, again, from your conversation, you definitely would know of the setup and what's been constructed. So,
and I would be briefed as head of security. Like, this is make sure people don't go to this place.
So it's less of, I mean, all the briefing you kind of got was there's where you change, but yeah, you can definitely tell that there is a secure door from where you've been pointed out, and obviously people don't really, I mean, because you were a Scovlan group, people kind of avoided you a bit, but you can tell obviously that this is there. From what you know, Olin, is that there is a room, and what Aldric knows is that this particular room is potentially where these materials are being stored. So if you're both heading there, here's what I'll say. Are you both heading there?
Yes.
Awesome. Then here's what I'll say. The commotion that Silas has been making in the exhibition has kind of drawn the attention of this Eruvian lord, and he's come down. So his Lord Avranthal, his name is, and he comes down to you, Silas, and he's like, sir, if you'll please just, I understand I may have misread the situation. I didn't want to offend anybody. I simply wanted to show you, I wanted to have a big reveal. I wanted you to be excited for the build-up, to see what's been created and what we can bring to share in our history.
You don't have to explain. Share a drink with me. Why don't you share a drink with me? That'll be fine. We can share a drink. You can talk me around the exhibit here. We can discuss it in more detail. That'd be lovely.
I most certainly will do that, sir. But you know what? In
fact, may I suggest I point out the young lady? I say, unfortunately, her date has just left her, I'm afraid, in the lurch, the poor lady, and she really could do with somebody just giving her a little boost. Recently, I believe, as well, unfortunately, her house collapsed. I don't know how such things happen in the city, would you believe? I was thinking of investing quite heavily here, but when buildings start collapsing, and would you believe things get pulled down all over the place, it does undermine your integrity of what you believe. Anyway.
Can I help him with this sway roll, real quick, using one of my actions?
Go on. What do you want to do?
I want to use foresight. I get to do it in behind because it's foresight.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
I've seeded through the Cintrilla Club, where this guy obviously is gone because he's a noble, about whoever Silas's cover is, being this massive investor in the city. So he will have heard of Silas's
Joseph
cover.
Reginald Smythe.
Okay, yeah, so Mr. Smythe, of course, yes. So yeah, what I will say is he'll look over at Karis and he'll see again. He will be completely in awe of you again. It's like, oh well, please do. He ushers you, Silas, as well. I'll say Silas for ease of understanding, but he'll usher you in. Like, what was her name? Sorry, I'll say to Silas when he's talking about.
And Karis, I didn't catch it fully. She was with some very big wig fellow, I believe, but he stood her up as soon as they got in the building. Terribly tragic.
Well, he walked over to you, Miss Karis. Thank you. My new friend here. So I heard over to Karis. He's like, Miss, my new friend here tells me that you've been stood up tonight, and that should not. No one should do that. But I'll tell you what, both of you. He'll kind of beckon you both in at this point. I know where you wish to see something else. You obviously feel like you've been cheated out of this. Come with me. I will show you the real merchandise. I'm going to start a 6-piece progress clock for this man ushering Karis and Silas to the locked room where the diamonds are being kept, which I believe Orlan and Aldric are currently trying to break into.
We're trying to keep him talking as long as we can. I'll take my time. I haven't had a limp up to this point, but now mysteriously I've got one.
I also think this might be time for a good flashback.
Go on, flashback.
No, Professor. You see the professor and a couple of the engineering students discussing a plan and looking at the plans for this casino. Because obviously this tied in with the university, so they probably had a hand in making it in the first place. And you see them modifying the door at night when it's closed, and they modified the door so that rather than having to fanny around with the usual locks, there is a bypass mechanism in the ornate nature of this door. You slide up a certain piece of the ornate carvings in the door, and you can use a second key to bypass most of the locking mechanism.
Okay. So yeah, we'll say that is take 1 stress for me, please, Giscard. We'll say that is how we'll say that plays out is that is essentially a design that you worked on previously, like years prior. There was a flashback to a few years ago when you're working on that design, and it's a design that's been implemented across various like measures across the university from that point. Again, a way to quickly retrieve artifacts if they need to be evacuated quickly, and it's a mechanism that you've talked about with the group. So 1 stress, and we'll say that Orlan and Aldric know about this mechanism. However, we've got currently 2 ticks on this man trying to get his way in.
Or they're briefed on this as well. I'm not going to leave them unbriefed on the instant.
Can I try and delay
Karis,
him?
is there anything you'd like to do?
Yes,
Can
I
you
would
sense
like
a
to
what?
try and delay him. He said he
Okay.
wanted to do the big reveal and everything and his history. I want him to I want to ask him to take me through all of the other pieces to lead up to the big diamond at the end. So kind of as we go past all the cabinets, I want to ask him about the history of, what's this piece? Oh, this one's beautiful, and tell me about this.
So you want to like usher him towards the case and ask him about each piece in turn. So if you that'll be sway. You're trying to convince him to
Silas, help her, Silas. Help her.
Any assistance you'd like to give Silas on this? You can assist for 1 stress.
Also, yeah, I'm happy to take some stress if required.
Yeah, it'd be to assist. It'd be 1 stress. Obviously, just describe briefly how you assist.
By limping up to the cabinet and pointing out a piece within the cabinet about, I never considered that. Yes, that's a very good question, my dear. I say, love to know more about this. It's better to build up the anticipation, I think, than some immediate reveal.
Yes, excellent. So it'll be a sway roll for you, Karis, and it'll be how many have you got in sway? 2.
2.
So you get 1 extra for the assistance from Silas, so it's 3 total.
Nice.
Very good.
Beauty.
5s and 3. So what you'll have is he's very, again, seeing your appearance and the fact that he feels like he's going to be able to get a bit lucky, if you will, to put it bluntly. He's seen you. He's been told that you've been abandoned at this party, and he wishes to give you a good time. Essentially, he's going to absolutely
improve diplomatic relations.
Stop it! What you're doing? Stop it! He's going to talk you through this collection that he's got, obviously, and then he's going to build up with the whole point being there'll be a big reveal at the very end, which will be the pieces. He will walk through the history, and then as a big finale, you'll be like, "And here is our actual collection." So you've bought them some time, for sure.
And ham that up a little.
Yeah, as much as I can, just try and kind of slow him down as much as
ham
possible.
it right up, because try and build on that anticipation quite a lot. So, maybe one of the pieces has a bit of a love history or something along those lines.
Yeah,
maybe
I'm
work
now
some
imagining-
maritime lore into your.
I'm now imagining the Arctic
We're
monkeys.
pretty sure halfway through. Oh, go on, sorry.
Sorry, I was going to say, I'm now imagining the Arctic Monkeys Track the View from the Afternoons playing the ones like anticipation as a big cassette. It's just we're trying to rapidly break in and you're trying to slow him down.
Either that or balaclava's playing. The conference
Yeah.
is
So
really
I'll give you a bit more of a delay, obviously, on the progress clock with them reviving. So you guys have got a bit of time now to be able to get into this safe room.
Can
You're at
you...
the door. What would you like to do?
Well,
Where's the explosion sound.
I've got a big old pair of bolt cutters, and I imagine there's a big lock on the door, so I'm just going to snap that off. I'm not even going to make it look.
we
have a key for the door, my dude. I've just.
I literally, as he does that, I go like, no. I lift the thing and I take the key out, and I'm like, do you not listen to anything that the professor says?
I'm going to be honest, I strapped these to my back like 4 hours ago, and I just really want to use them.
You might have to use them when I cut
There
off.
is no padlock on the door. It's a normal door with a big sort of style lock, if you will, like a safe. But then obviously you do have this little flap with a key opener.
Yeah, just like it's like hidden behind one of the like an ornate carving in the door in the metalwork, and you just slide it up.
I've
Click.
seen him carry those bolt cutters around on every day of his life. That's because he has to come
I
tested his
open the
bolts off.
door. I open the door.
Here's what I'll say, Ben. Just for you, there is a padlock on that little sliding notch that you can cut off.
No, I'll wait until we're inside, then I'll use my bolt cutters for something. Don't worry, I'll find something.
So, we're inside. What do we see?
So as you head in, you see that it's a there's a sort of wide room with a table in the middle, and you can see that there are very ornately decorated sort of velvet boxes on the table, all holding on various sizes. There's one in the middle that's quite large, sort of about 20 centimeters across, cube-shaped, and then there are some smaller, longer boxes around, again, almost necklace boxes, and you see these big central box as well.
Has it got a padlock on it?
Nope, these are just laid out on the.
Okay, right. I start going through. I start going through the boxes, and then I pull out my pistol, and I hand it to Aldric. And I'm like, you're gonna have to make this look real, by the way. So when we're done, and once you've got what you've got, you take that, and I give him the pistol, and you shoot me here, and I point at like my shoulder.
Oh my god!
Okay, so you do that. So you're going through all these boxes. As you open, you're opening all of the boxes.
I'm opening all the like big ones.
I'm going to open the one that I think has the diamond in. 'Cause I want to put it on
Steal
the
everything, guys. Come on.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm stealing as much as I can.
You know,
open the large
you're
box and then
handing
you see
a pistol to the man who rolls ones all the time to ask him to
And
shoot.
we are going to come to that in just a second. So you see
Shoot
this
me in the
very large,
shoulder.
ornately decorated. It's a very well cut, pristine looking. Not the sort of quintessential like triangular diamond shape. It's sort of almost like a sphere. It's been very, very ornately
The
crafted.
golf ball one.
It's a good sort of 15 centimeters in diameter. And then you open up the two smaller boxes, and there are some necklaces there, again, with large gems at the base, blue diamonds.
Very good.
Which you know from the history, Eruvians, again, blue diamonds are a symbol of Eruvian heritage and culture.
They
And
say
there
now,
are
try and
neatly
keep it up your
decorated
hair.
diamonds around the chains as well. If you imagine the sort of long, thick chains that necklaces have sometimes, with like the diamonds encrusted all the way up. These
Yeah,
two,
like a boat anchor.
and there's one more piece in the middle. So they've got these two very ornately decorated necklaces, this very large diamond, and then you've got another piece which is decidedly a bit less flashy than the others, but it's ornately decorated still. It's still quite a fine piece, but it's got runic symbols along the jewelry. So it's a smaller piece, and it's got sort of these runic symbols carved into
Take everything and get ready. And I cock the gun and put it towards him, like, ready.
Is there like shelves in here, like big shelves that I could throw down?
No, it's just this table in the middle with all these pieces laid on it.
Damn.
So flip the table towards me as if
Yeah.
I've come in the room.
I was just going
And
to hit
then-
you with the table instead of shooting you, if I'm honest.
No, you got to follow through here. 1-0.
Yeah, you need to. It needs to look fucking good. Like I need to look like.
Oh,
I
it
can
will.
think out.
It'll look very, very good.
Okay. So as
Your body.
he hands me the last thing, I'm like, what about that? And if he turns round, I just swing at the back of his head with the bolt cutters instead of shooting him.
Okay, so he gives you the pistol, and then you very cliche, you go, "Oh my god, what's that over there?" Orlan, do you turn around when he does that?
I would because we're trying to rob this place, so I'm thinking he's
Yeah.
found something.
I imagine he does sort of. Aldric does. What's that over there? And Orlan goes, "Fine." Very obviously.
What do you mean? Like I thought we'd emptied everything. Turns around. Like,
See, what we'll talk about here is this is you trying to make this look real, but also to hold back enough so that you don't injure him. So give me a skirmish roll.
Sorry, is that what I'm doing? Because this is a tough bastard as far as I'm concerned. I just hit him with the
Yeah,
fucking
you're-
bolt cutters. I ain't holding
You're
back.
not hitting him. Okay, well, we'll do it normally then. You're not trying to hold back. You're trying to see how hard you hit him.
Nice.
I've got.
Is it
this,
skirmish
is the
roll?
one- this is when he gets the double sixes, boys.
Yeah, this is when he really kills him.
4.
I was like, that's not the number been rolled, but okay, you haven't done that yet.
2. So that's not going to kill him, is it?
So what you get, you sort of, again, Holland's fine, looks around, and you sort of, you don't knock him out. Actually, I just assume what you were trying to do. You kind of catch him sort of in the shoulder, and he sort of yelps quite loudly, and take level 1 harm, dead arm. And
So that's 2 level 1 harms.
2 level 1 harm. So you will then, so that's what you've done. You've managed to gather up these gems, and what you will hear from the exhibition hall, Silas and Karis, is this man that's been intricately sort of showing you this display will hear this cry. Not a very big place, guys, let's be honest. And he'll look, excuse me, sorry, I must just, and he ushers off.
Would you like us to come with you and just help? I say that sounded like
He's
someone was in
walking away at
pain.
this point.
Oh, I'll start following.
I'll go after him.
I look at Aldric. I'm like, sorry, buddy, and I'm gonna with my one arm that's not like dislocated out my shoulder or whatever the fuck he's done to me, just sock him and make it look like we're fighting, basically.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I would say that I can hold back
with this stuff.
Yeah, but so what I want to do is basically
It's not what I was expecting.
look like we're
going well.
fighting. I want it to look like we're fighting. Get him out into the corridor so he can bolt for it.
So,
So he's not in the room.
I figured that was what you were just doing. He was going to hit you and then run anyway.
That was the plan, yeah.
But he didn't knock me out. He needs to If I don't look like I've taken something like big to fuck me up, then they're gonna go that it was you, and it will come back to me. So I'm trying to.
All right. I can throw in another flashback then. Of the bandolier I've got, you see us quietly handing to Aldrich a flashbang.
Okay, yep. I'll let that happen for free. Aldric, you've got a flashbang if you wish to. So we'll say that if you wish to use that, Aldric, the scene plays out.
So I swing at you.
The fuck you doing?
And then I flip the table. And then I just grab the grenade, pull the pin out of it, drop it, and with his pistol still in hand, just stroll out the door with my sack of loot and the pistol.
You go off at that point, you slink out, they hear this explosion. It's heard in the exhibition hall as well, and they're just like, everyone in there is sort of, they're not really sure what it was, but they're sort of heard ears ringing. The
close by, I say.
The curator of the exhibition has kind of gone outside at this point, outside of the hall to sort of clear it, and she sees you running, Aldric, and she sort of starts to yell.
No, not running.
Walking.
She sees you walking with this velvet. She sort of points at you as if to say, but then her arm kind of goes quite heavy and sort of drops, and she looks down at the drink that she's got in her hand, and it's like, what? And she slinks to the floor. Thanks for that setup for earlier, James.
Can I at this point kind of turn around to Lord Avrenthal
Bixby.
and
Yeah.
and just say, "Oh my goodness, look, she's just passed out," kind of pointing away from the door and the safe and everything. Make a big scene of it, and kind of just point everyone's direction to her.
Do you remember our bag masks? I've got one of those on now.
Okay.
just clarification.
And you're swaying him to be convinced. So you're pulling his attention away from what's going on over there and trying to get his attention onto this woman. So it'll be sway. You can push yourself, or again, just roll it as you would.
Another woman faints from the sight of Lord
Is it too stressed?
Too stressed to push yourself for an extra dice.
For one extra dice.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on then. I'll give it a go.
Yep. So I think that's 3
So,
for you, is it?
I need so much healing and so much strength.
Yeah, you do.
Yep. So what you do, you sort of
We can't rebuild him. We have the technology.
Still got this bringing, and he's like, you point at him, and he looks over at this woman that's fallen, and he's like, "Of course, my lady. Yes, of course. That's." And he rushes over and he starts beckoning others.
She fainted. She fainted at the sight of you, Lord Bigsby, I think.
Sort of
No,
kneels
he's not
down
Lord
next to her.
Bigsby. He's someone else.
All the attention at this point is kind of taken off the exhibition and taken off of you guys, as you've given this momentary moment where all of these men are sort of he's ushering people over to assist with this curator. Obviously, he wants to try and stay in her good books. She's the one who's made this happen for him, so he wants to try and garner some favor. And he instantly starts to beckon everyone over on the advice, obviously, of Karis, to get her to help out. And you guys are able, if you wish, you've got no eyes on you at the minute, and obviously it seems like the job is done.
Disappear into the night.
Yep, you guys can all, if you wish, just head out.
I think I'll wait for them to get out.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to be an obnoxious asshole and pretend to be some rich guy who goes and looks at the scene, which is the door, our Scotland friend on the floor, and sort of make a massive judgment and say to the prince who's standing there, well, I don't think you're in any position to be investing in the university, do you, old chap? It seems you can't keep your own affairs in order. I don't think you need to be sullying university with your own. And then just do an about face and walk off.
Nice.
I would probably stay there
Okay.
whilst these guys sneak out, and I'll give a bullshit description of a man who I saw get in university like garbs do something to the door, like there was some sort of like key, and I produced like the key, like, and then I wrestled him and he did something to me, which is why, and my ears are still ringing. So, but
Okay.
I am kind of used to it. I'm like, I can understand what I'm saying because of the fact that I've had this happen to me before a lot. Whereas like I'm like, ah!
What I'll say is, for free, you can have so you go, you're still in the room, obviously, when they all walk in and realize that holy shit, this fucking expensive jewelry collection is gone. So they all start running, panicking. They leave somebody there with you to sort of stay there. But then a few minutes later, somebody walks along dressed in a blue coat uniform, with mask bandana sort of tied around their face and a hat, and they say, "I'll take it from here. You can go. I got him from here." And they sort of look, "Oh, fine. Thank you." And they take off, and then
Can I
this
get
person
the vial?
grabs you by the arm and pushes you out of the door. And as you all both leave, pull down the bandana, and it's Karis has disguised herself as a blue coat to get you out.
Excellent. Can I, as we leave, get the violinist to play a Scotland war song just as we're, heading?
No, don't you fucking dare! Like,
Yeah, man, do it.
Roll sway for me and see how well that goes, please.
fucking hell!
What's your sway?
How many dice do you need, Sean?
Oh, I don't need it. I'm rubbish at this.
What's your sway?
I've got none, and I'm not risking it. I'm just rolling a dice. If she doesn't want to play with
So
it, that's fine.
2d6 take the lowest?
2d6 take the lowest. We'll see how successful it is.
Oh,
It's a
1 or
very-
5.
It's a pretty shit song. Like you tell them and they go, and they start playing whatever old random shite they can. It's not a Scotland War song. Don't you worry about that,
Whether
Orla.
it's Scotland or not. So that's fine.
So Silas and Giscard leave normally. Obviously, Orlan gets held back, but then gets rescued slightly later by Karis as she leaves with.
Do I see my sister at any point?
Ooh.
Ooh.
My apologies. I did actually forget that was a detail. However, what we will say is we'll save it for later. I'll tell you what. If you'll allow me to, I will sit on that. And apologies for not including it before, but I will sit on that. And
no, it's fine. Like you use it how you will. It's your game.
Yeah.
As soon as we can get on the outside, we just go in like 5 different directions. We know where we're rendezvousing back.
You all split off.
I walk straight back to the boat in the full mask with the gun and the loot.
Because that's not going to get you followed.
So you all head off back to your little boat.
I tell the 40-second to like I do a whistle, and they're gone.
Yeah. So again, you all head off in your directions. You head back, and you eventually meet up back at your hideout. Low tide. There's no water in there. This is what it normally looks like to Karis. This is like, okay, yeah, this is normal. Like,
Is it just because all her sisters are like there with like buckets at the ready? Like,
as soon as there's a bucket worth, it goes up the chain and disappears.
We'll streamline. Obviously, I know we're a bit short on time again, guys. We'll streamline this slightly. So we'll do the payoff first. We'll do the one. So what you've managed to procure from this score is a total of 12 coin.
Oh
Which is
shit!
Nice.
Amount of loot that you've managed to procure from this score. So as a group, you now have 12 coin.
How many coins have we got on our loot sheet?
Coin, you track. Coin, you've only got 1 in your layer currently.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
How
we
You
many-
have
have
to give
we have
enough
to
to someone to rebuild their house, though.
Yeah, we've kind of got to make sure they got enough money to buy back a house.
Again,
how many can we keep in the layer? How many coin can we keep in the layer?
4 in the layer. You've got 3 more you can store in the layer if you wish. Want to put
And
them
how
in?
many can we each store?
4
I've got
per
one
as well.
more. I've got one more thing left.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've got 3 coin already. Where the hell are we going to put all this?
Well, you start putting it into your
Stash it.
stash to
Ah,
let you retire.
got ya. Okay.
Or you know, my mortgage.
I'll slap Aldric on the back and say, you best take care of the poor girl, and just disappear into the boat.
Her light may be dimming, but there's still something left. You have to sort the poor woman out.
Of your cut, I say from a distance.
Now, 3 coin off the top of the job. That's what you get.
Oh dear.
I
I've
like
just
stand there, rubbing my shoulder. And I just hold up.
Seems so harsh. You love the woman, I say. Look at all the love letters you wrote up.
3. Take it or leave it.
Oh, it's a tough one, isn't
I
it?
think 5 would be fair, considering that I found this.
You heard the girl. Pay up, Aldric. Another slap on the back.
Aldric, so remember the pistol from earlier? Just puts the pistol on his armrest and goes, 3 off the top. You never darken our doorway again.
Never dim our dark way again.
Dark way? What he said.
Yeah, it's a spiritual thing. Moving on.
Namaste.
That's 1/4 of the take.
Her face will her face will fall a little bit, just like, okay, well, like she honestly thought that there was that you liked her and that they were just laughing, but she'll take her 3 and she will leave.
Someone's going to have to inflate Aldrich's pride here, isn't they?
I would probably stop her. How much do we get each?
So you've got a total of 12. You can divvy that up how you want.
Well, we're giving
So-
3 to her, so that's a
3
4th of the
carrots.
job.
So you can go off and
So we got 9 between 4 of us.
so if you want 2 each and then some in your stash, or you might have to stash some.
2 each, 1 for
But then we'll say just obviously we'll do things like again, because we're pushed a bit for time this week, guys. We will do downtime and other we'll work out other details off camera, or either we could do it at the beginning of next week potentially, or wherever.
All right.
But we'll say that you managed to get back, you managed to fence all of your equipment, you find the appropriate dealers that will take it from you. It takes a few days obviously to let the heat die down, and obviously to get everything together. But after that, you will arrive back in the layer. You give Karis her share so that she can go off and find herself a new place for her and her sisters. Any final words you wish to?
A couple days later, Cobb will show up with 2 more coin in an envelope, and it'll be all the
Bloody
love
big
notes
envelope.
back in the envelope with 2, basically 2 more bags of silver.
So you'll get a small boy run up to you, Karis. At some point later on, you're probably with your other sisters, kind of deciding what to do, and you'll run up, have a small leather bag from you, and he'll present his wrist at you like that, and he'll go, "We'll be in touch."
I was gonna be there, with my bit of the take, on the edge of the boat as she's leaving, obviously quite flustered, and I kind of look at her. I know what it is like to lose one's home. Take this, and I before she's even left, I throw her one of my coins, so I take 1 coin for the job. I'm like, just make sure you and your sisters are well looked after, da.
I really appreciate all these gestures. I think they're brilliant. So I pick up a bucket and I give her that as she goes.
Put all your coin in.
I'll turn to Orlan as I leave and say, "You're a good man, and you do the Scotlanders proud."
No, I don't, but I thank you for the.
Excellent. And as Karis walks away,
Fuck it.
and she walks away with her loot, having just procured you guys obviously quite a large score, that is where we will end it for the week. And I believe,
year.
yeah, and for the year, yeah, I think this
Yeah.
we're not going to do one next week, but I think we are going to be back soon. in
I'll
the new
post
year.
on Twitter, so you should follow me on Twitter at Flickering Torch.
So yeah, thank you very much for
Christ, this man of plugging.
joining
I was
us.
going to say, I'm going to get that written on a butt
Yes,
plug for
thank
you,
you for
Ben.
joining us.
Yeah,
Thank
like I say,
you.
thank you.
Yes, thank you indeed.
Do you want me to do
Thank-
outros now for everyone? Plugs,
go ahead.
etc. Right. So, we will go first to our guest. Naomi, please plug... Wait, where are you? Naomi, down there, hello. Please plug anything that you would like to plug. I know you don't have a big YouTube presence, but whatever you want to plug, go for it.
No, I don't. But I am a fan of a podcast called Mud and Blood, which so I mainly play kind of the 40k role playing games. But Mud and Blood has introduced me to a whole load of new role playing games that is always fun to find new games.
That podcast is great. That found Forbidden Lands for me, which is like...
Oh, okay.
yeah.
The competition, bro, boys. The competition.
We will go next to down there in the further corner. Jesus Christ, this is confusing when you're not middle. Down there in the further corner, Sean, please plug anything you would like to plug.
I think we've plugged everything. I'll be honest. I don't know if there's anything more we can plug. We plugged the boat. We've plugged each other. We've done everything we can do. So if you have-
Whoa!
Take yourself there, Silas.
Gloss over it. Move on.
Move on. We'll swiftly move on from plugging. That's all I'm going to say tonight. Moving on.
Excellent. James, the easiest set of plugs, my guy. All the way
Yeah.
over there. Let us know.
To the Loom, the Discord server that I hide on. That's where you'll find me on the internet.
Excellent. Jordan, please plug anything you would like to plug.
Yes, I'm going to plug this week what I do every week, which is my new YouTube channel, which is YouTube Uninformed RPG on YouTube. Not that many videos on it yet, but work has been busy, especially with the new year. But I will be getting some out there soon, so stay tuned and look out for those. It's going to be good.
And the man below me, Addison, please plug anything you would like to plug.
So the Loom Discord server obviously is where we hang out, and we have been staying together in these trying times with our local and national government showing their ineptitude. But as well, I run a podcast called The Pod of Many Things with my friend Leon. We've recently just had a banger episode with Matt Click, one of the guys from Absolute Tabletop, who designed Mecha Hack, which I'm hoping you might see on here eventually. But all in all, I also would love you to have a great Christmas, Happy New Year, and thank Naomi for turning up and injecting some class and level-headedness into the conversation.
Some semblance of civilization.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for playing with us sweaty, smelly boys.
Speak for yourself. I'm only 3 of those things.
Well, you girl then. I didn't know.
Finally, you can...
Okay.
Finally, next year you can find us here over on twitch.tv/theflickeringtorch at 7:30 British Standard Time for more Blades in the Dark Red Herrings, or you can catch the video on demand over on YouTube at the Flickering Torch YouTube channel. You can also follow me on Twitter at the Flickering Torch to get updates on all of the things that are going to happen and find out when this new season starts filming. Thank you all for watching. Have an excellent Christmas and a very happy... I was going to say a very merry New Year, but that was the wrong one. Great New Year from all of us over at the Flickering Torch. Goodbye, everyone.
See you later,
Merry
guys.
Christmas.
Bye-bye.
Merry New Year too.